have to break this one down into 2 videos, as long as I suspect it's going to be. You'll notice we're going over the name tag too, but that's this way because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, and I may leave it open. I may see if I can get me a piece of cardstock and artificially age it, or paper or something, and paint a year on it. When we're done, I'm going to put one of my picture hooks on it to kind of I'm getting rid of some stringers. There we go. So far, so good. Kind of keep dry brushing it around here. It's actually kind of neat looking. Now, I got another stringer. I'll nab this. It comes in right here, and we'll plunk that off. There we go. Now, I got a little bit more glue than I wanted to, but my glue gun's not real great for that sort of thing. So, there we go. Got another. There we go. Now, gotta get a little bit more copper, and I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, about dropped that. That would have been bad. Now, go ahead and dry brush out this copper up here on the. Then I'll go in with the metallic ice blue and do what we gotta do. I gotta come in behind here and just kind of. I may decide to come in and kind of touch it up with some silver or gold highlights, but I like this just the kind of like it is right now. Go ahead and get a little bit more copper and come in underneath here. Actually, that's kind of neat looking. It's not bad. It's come a far cry from where it was when we started putting it together earlier in this video. Now, go ahead and set this down, and now we're going to probably grab a slightly smaller brush because we got a little more delicate work to do. And I'm not quite done even then. I just want to kind of I'm trying to get the basic notion of what we're doing out of the way. So now, we're going to go in with this metallic blue, and I'm going to do that right in the middle here. And we may go in with a little bit of. And I'm going to try to make this work for us here. Alright, now. Okay, got a little bit too much glue. Or not glue, but paint. I don't want to make it, I don't want to coat it, just kind of, I'm going to use up all this right in here to kind of, okay. Here, come in from this side now and do the same thing. Get a little bit of this ice blue, kind of brush it down. We're going to come in underneath here and just kind of, like across and make sure I don't bump into my prop. I don't want blue paint on this prop. Not if I can avoid it. Oh, got blue where I didn't want it. Up on that frame. That's going to have to be fixed, but that's, as far as disasters, pretty mild. There we go. And I'll have to do a little bit of touch-up up on the frame on this side. But as that goes, that's pretty mild. Now, go ahead and put this away. So, let's take a look at it as it sits. Let me see if I can get a clean light on it. I want you to be able to see it from the top side. Now, got some, I got to put a little bit of patina onto the gears. I'd be tempted to put it on the bath escape itself, but I don't really feel like doing that. But I am going to put a little bit of a patina onto the gearing, onto these gears in the corner. Make them look old. Now, kind of just dry brush off this stuff and just kind of go over that with just a hint of there we go. Old corroded gears. And I may just grab just a fair hint and just kind of just give a little hint of maybe a little bit of corrosion on this. Just a real light dusting of corrosion. Just to kind of hint that maybe it's had a little bit of oxidation in its day. Not that much. That was too much. Well, we'll go with it. Just kind of a hint. I'll have to get a little bit more here. I'm just going to put a little hint of oxidation. I don't want a bunch. Just a hint. I've got to be careful around that one. That one's just a tad on the loosey-goosey side. I don't want any uh-ohs. Just a hint. I don't want it all being all verdigreed up, but I need a little hint of it here and there. Now, take our fine point brush and we're going to put away the patina here. In this case, it's apple barrel wintergreen because to me that looks kind of like, and it does show up very well as a patina on this. Now, we get a sterling silver, and I'm going to use it to kind of just touch up just a bit right in here. Now, probably gonna have to get off here in a minute. I gotta get something done before, because I gotta go and run an errand. So tell you what, we'll finish this up when I get back. Alright guys, we're about to put the finishing touches on this. There's a few little spots that I just kind of want to touch up. For example, little name tag right there for starters. So for that, let's see what we got, because I think I'm gonna go with maybe a little dolphin gray and just kind of go over it. It doesn't have to be metallic. Let's see, where's my paint rag, and I'm going to use a pair. I've got an old pair of my khakis in here. That will do the job nicely. Okay. We'll probably have to do this in bits, so let's kind of just go up here and just gently over the top, because I don't want to get this paint anywhere else. There we go. Now, got to do a little bit of work on it now. So, for one thing, we got to paint the outside, and I've got a little slosh of blue up there at the top of the frame, and I'll probably check the other side just to make sure. So, kind of get all this excess paint off, and come over here and just kind of touch this up and get underneath here gently. There we go. Now, the next part is going to be to kind of paint up the frame top itself, and we'll see what I can do here. I said it's kind of a, what they would call it, the place I used to work, a B surface. So this ain't gotta be, top side ain't gotta be just uber perfect. It's gotta be good, but it don't have to be just perfect. You'll notice I didn't put a black undercoat up around the edge of the frame, because that's not what's going to be seen, so it's not something that's going to be of a major concern to me. So now, yeah. Also, don't mind telling you on a personal note, I am growing my beard back out. I don't know if I've mentioned this already, because apparently Gillette thinks that that they're entitled to tell me how to interact with my wife and my children via the commercials. Shut up and sell razors, Gillette. If I wanted your opinion, I would have asked it from you. You are not a child psychologist. Now, I did show this to my dear mother, and she suggested maybe using a Dremel out the back of it and putting a place in there for a light. I tell you what, guys, if you think I should put a light in that inside the bath escape so that lights could shine out through the portals, leave me a comment below and let me know. Of course, you know you're free to leave me a comment on anything at any time, as long as you're not saying anything that would not be fit for children to hear, because we do have children watching the channel. So I gotta let the panel here dry, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and put our hooks in place. Now what I'm going to do is, if you remember how we always do this, we take this out and take this apart, then we glue this together, and that will make a very serviceable wall mount. Now, that's step one. We'll make another one. Basically, remove the springs from your clothespins like so. Come up here, and these are kind of cheap clothespins, so they're good for projects, but they're not really, I would not want to trust them to hang my clothes on. There we go. Now, those are together. So I can get the glue off my thumb. Now this one here, I'm going to glue together just like it is. But I'm going to take, well, I'll leave the spring on it. The reason I'm gluing it like it is, you will see, you will understand momentarily. I want, if you'll notice every other one, I've been trying to do something particular with this. Okay, don't want to touch the paint, but I'm going to have to a little bit to just kind of pick this up and roll this around so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. What I'm going to do is, alright, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to glue this one here across the bottom. Well, I will as soon as I can get some more glue in my glue stick, in my glue gun. Reload. Alright, what I'm going to do here is we're going to put I'm going to glue one of these here clothespins right here. Now what that's for is so that when it hangs up on the wall, it won't be leaning forward. You'll notice that a lot of my the stuff that I've mounted on walls, like the wall sconce up there, has a tendency to lean just a tad forward, to be a little bit forward. So we don't want that. So you should probably put a little more glue, and I'm going to put it on this thing instead, on the clothespin itself. That way it'll ensure that it goes down the entire length of the thing. Now, that'll hold itself up for a moment. See, you got the clothespin. We're going to put the glue along here. And that's going to glue in place right here. Now, let's go ahead. Now the cool thing, if I'd have thought about it, is you can actually look in the lenses, look into the windows in the right light, and you can actually see inside of it. If I'd put a light in the back of it, Dremel out a hole and put a lamp back there, you'd be able to do that. Now, all that remains now is to hang this dude up and see how she looks. So I've got to find a spot to hang this. And I got to find my thumbtacks, which I know we have. Where did I put the thumbtacks? have thumbtacks. Don't you hate when you misplace your thumbtacks? Okay. Tell you what, I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, we got my thumbtacks now, so we're going to go ahead and put the final touch on it, and that's going to be putting a date right here. Now I'm not going to be using a modern date like you would expect. This is steampunk, so it's going to have to be a past date. So, what I'm going to do is grab my good old liner brush. And I've got some black onyx paint, or black sequin paint up here. Let me stretch over here and grab it. I love this black sequin stuff because it's glossy and black and it kind of looks sharp. So, now, let's go ahead and get this in the water. Get my brush limbered up. It's a bit stiff at the present. Now, let's see if we can do this without it messing us up. Still a little bit wet. Paint's just still a little damp here. So I'll go ahead and get a little more. I need a little more than that. There we go. May have to shake this up just a hair. Let me go ahead and rinse this down. And we'll have to probably, let's go ahead and shake this paint up. I'll have to probably buy some new sequin paint. But I'm going to use what we got here while I've got it. Now I've been pondering a year for this. And I've thought about calling it the HMS Hunley 2. But let's see. This is where it gets intricate. Get a little more paint because I want to, even though it looks slightly faded now. There we go. That should give us enough to work with. I can keep it from dripping off and making a big... Alright. We're getting water on this brush. I'm suspecting we are getting some water because this paint's either starting to separate on me or we're getting just a little more water than I need. Because it should not look like that. So I think our paint is separating because, I mean, hang on. Yeah, the paint's separating. Let me show you something. Alright, move this back a piece. I might have to use the matte black. I don't want to, but see that? See how that's just real watery and thin? That's generally the fate of sequin paints. Ew, it just leaked on me. That's the fate of sequin type paints. A black sequin, and a lot of times the metal paints in general, they have a tendency to separate. I don't know if it's maybe something in the chemistry or what. Some paints from both Folk Art and Apple Barrel both have a tendency to bleed through or bleed out over time. So I'm going to have to clean that off here. Let's go ahead and wipe this down. Now, Go ahead and do this again over here. Kind of fix where the sequin paint was lacking. I think I'm going to make it 18. Oh, almost had too much paint. There we go. Make it 1881. There we go. Now, a lot of different things you could do. If you could find like an old battered paperback copy of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, you could have put that in there. Any number of things like that. So, tell you what, we'll be back in a minute, and I'm going to hang this up, and we'll be able to maybe get this video in the can. Alright guys, as you can see there, it is hanging up. It's a little bit cockeyed or kitty-cornered, but where it's hanging, it's a little awkward to get it straight. So, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. I'm glad to see that my stopgap underneath there has kept it straight. And don't forget to follow us on Pinterest, Patreon, and Facebook. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Go make something fun. Bye-bye.